with the whispers of truth, to live a conscious life, to live a conscious life on the growing edge, on the growing edge.
Om and good morning. Ali Benjamin here with Growing Edge Live Sunday broadcast. I'm here in Farmington, Utah, and I can see my friend Ben is watching on Facebook. I know you're not too far away, and I'd love to know who you are. If you're watching, drop a comment in the notes below or the comment below, and we can get a sense of who's with us this morning, who's tuning in. Oh gosh, I've been on such an adventure traveling to England to be with my family for the celebration of life for my beloved stepmother, Sheena, and spent over 3 weeks with my siblings and my uncle and my nieces and my nephews and my brother-in-laws and my sister-in-law, Rosie. I love you all so much, and I'm so happy that we had that time together to grieve, to go through all of what we go through when we lose someone that's so dear, so near, so important in our lives. So, really blessed trip, really blessed connections. I feel really blessed to have the family I do. And so wherever you are and whatever you're up to, know that you're welcome here. If this is your first time, hang around. There may be something that I'll share today that will lift up your hearts, lift up your spirits, and support you in living a more meaningful life of purpose and love. And if you're back, if you're one of those that tune in on a regular basis, we couldn't do this without you. Your support, your love, your time, your resources, your energy really make a difference in this ministry. And we appreciate your love and support so, so much. Hey, Shelley. So glad that you're here. Hello, my friend, and hello to you wherever you are, whether you're watching this live here on Facebook or whether you're watching this as a replay on YouTube. So, whoops, I almost started my my song again. That opening song that we play, the Growing Edge Live song, is by my friend Leslie Monroe, who has been such a support and inspiration to me over the last 10 years, I can't tell you. So if you're watching, Leslie, I love you. I can't wait to connect with you. I know she's probably at the Salt Lake Center for Spiritual Living at the moment, playing some amazing music with that beautiful music team. But today, we're here to talk about loyalty and what it means to be loyal. And so why don't we start with a little meditation, a grounding. So if you will, just close your eyes and become centered in your own self, right here in the now moment, wherever you are. Just be here, closing the door to the past and to the future, and simply arriving in this place that we call a now moment. It truly is the only moment that we've ever been alive in. This now moment, and this now moment, and this now moment. It's constantly changing, but always feeling so familiar. And so as you occupy the space of now, and you begin to settle down and relax your body, just take a few deep centering breaths. And in that breathing, in that arriving, in that sense of belonging to the now moment, allow a certain curiosity for the freshness of the now. Begin to feel a sense of belonging right where you are, wherever that is. Most importantly, within your body, knowing that you belong to this life, to this body, to this moment. And you can get a sense of that being more real than ever before. That you truly do belong to this life, to this moment, to this body. This is you. This is me. This is we. This is the one life, the one power and the one presence that is so much a part of who we are from that broader perspective. And so as we tune in this morning to the omniscience, to the infinite wisdom, the omnipresence, the consciousness that is always witnessing each and every now moment, and the omnipotence, the power that we have continuous access to, that we actually are, the power to live and breathe and move and navigate this earthly plane. And as you start to settle in, not just into the physical space and the physical body, but the extended, the broader sense of self that truly is everywhere present, all powerful, infinitely wise. These are the spiritual dimensions, the dimensions of the soul that we inhabit always. Sometimes we forget, sometimes we become very narrowly focused in the physical, in the body, in the roles, the persona that we play, and the life and the things that we've created and attracted into our world. We become so identified with that we become less aware of truly who we are as infinitely powerful, wise, loving, and present. So it's a both and. We're this expanded sense of self, this non-localized sense of self, and we're also this very real human body with a thinking brain and with a whole world of things and relationships and activities that we call our human life. It's both and. And so today we're bringing that awareness, these principles together within today's talk. This expanded sense of self and this very personal, up-close sense of self. So just breathe that in for a moment and take a moment of silence. Maybe place your hand on your heart, just comforting yourself, knowing that for now, everything's okay. You're right where you need to be. Nowhere else to go and no one else to be. Simply open and receive this soulful nourishment that we'll be sharing together as we explore what it means to be loyal. Take a breath, relax, arrive, open your eyes, and welcome back. I'm Allie Benjamin, and it is my great honor and privilege to serve as the minister within this beautiful online and in-person Satya community. And hello to the Chapmans that are hosting a live event for the Satya community. I am so happy to know that you're there just a few miles up the road, joining together, and it's really a blessing that we at Satya, even though there's a lot of us have moved away, and Satya, whilst we used to be a spiritual community that met every Sunday in a brick and mortar building, having music and celebration together, now many of us have moved away, and the way we connect is online here. And so it's a both and. We're an in-person community, and we're also a greater community because we get to stay connected from across the miles. And there's my sister Juliet, and I know that she's in the UK. Love you, miss you. And there's Pam saying there's nine of you there. That feels so good. My heart is just bursting with love for just knowing that you're together and you're supporting each other. And so I think this talk today about loyalty and what it means to be loyal is really going to be powerful. So why don't we get started? So as I think about the word, and many of you know this, but I've been using the alphabet and dividing each month into 2 letters. So in January, it was A's and B's, and I picked words that started with A's and B's, and that's continued until here we are in June, and we're at the end of June, and the letter, are we at the end of June? Yeah, we're at the end of June, and the letter that I've been focused on, Michael last week and me this week, is the letter L. And Michael talked about letting go, and today I'm talking about loyalty. And so some thoughts about loyalty, what it means from the spiritual perspective, and how we can take just one word, like loyal, and develop a deepening into our own very life, and how that word and all of its history, all of its meaning, its many meanings, can actually bring dimension and depth into our lives as never before. Sometimes it's the simple things. It's simply being mindful, and being mindful of a word and what it means and the history and the meanings and all of that and how it impacts us can really be very profound. And it has been for me today, well, this week, as I've been exploring this word loyal, as I just got back from being with my family and celebrating the life of my beloved stepmother Sheena. There was a loyalty that she brought that transcends love. I think loyalty can include love and can include friendship, but loyalty is a broader statement that we can really kind of wrap our arms around, wrap our heart around, that can help us make sense of why we organize our lives the way we do, why we're connected with particular people, organizations, bodies of work, maybe your job, why we are committed to those things, those people, those places, those ideas, and how loyalty can help us really gain appreciation for the way we've structured our lives and who we've attracted into our life, why we've attracted those people, and how we can deepen that connection, even with those that we've maybe ignored, that we haven't really brought into the fold. Maybe it's time to open up our hearts and to include those people that potentially have wanted to be a loyal friend to us, but because of our life, because of our focus of attention, because of our energy, or maybe our grieving, or maybe our busyness, we haven't really given time and attention to. So we're going to look at some of these things today and how loyalty can truly build our sense of, and these are some of the aspects of loyalty, a sense of service. Think of a dog, for instance. I was reading this morning from the Native American tradition, the medicine cards, and one of these cards is dog. All of the cards are represented by a particular animal, and the animal that dog, the wisdom or the medicine that animal carries. And so dog represents loyalty, and loyalty from a dog, think about a service dog. A service dog is completely committed to its person, its companion, completely trusting, is completely committed to serve that person. And so we can take on some of those aspects or attributes that dog carries and shares so obviously. And I know many of you have animal companions, dogs especially, and you know what I'm talking about. There's a commitment, an attentiveness, an alertness that a dog has that is so powerful, so supportive, so enduring and endearing. And so we can start to maybe expand a little bit into some of that dog energy so that we can adopt that in our human relationships. Another aspect of loyalty or loyal is devotion. And we'll be talking a little bit about that, having spiritual devotion. What does it mean to live a devoted life and really be devoted to your relationship with the universe, to God, to your spiritual path, to yourself as an emissary of God or an emissary of the universe? Human form. We're made in the image and likeness of the divine. So we can be devoted to developing this persona, this new iteration of ourselves that begins when? Now. Your next iteration of you begin to create that now, moving forward. Now, the past seems to have this alluring draw to us. We start to think that we need to somehow bring some of our fears and concerns from the past into the now and start to see through the lens of those fears and develop our life and create our life with an influence of those past fears and doubts. I question that. I ask you to question that if you're doing it too. Are you allowing your past fears, your past beliefs, those limiting beliefs that maybe no longer serve you, are you allowing that past to influence who you're becoming and the life that you're creating moving forward? Because you might want to look at that and question, is it worth it? Can I just leave that in the past? Like Michael was talking about last week. Can you let that go? And can you begin to create the brand new you that you're completely loyal to, completely devoted to, bringing on board your more positive aspects, those skills, those attributes, those mindsets that have you living up above the line, living in a place of, I know I'm the one that's ready to create my next experience, my next chapter. I'm the one that has what it takes to create a life of meaning and purpose. And so we get devoted to that challenge, we get devoted to that life, we get devoted to our future self that we're always creating, one thought at a time. We can talk about that in a minute. And so we get to be devoted. Like dog carries that medicine of devotion, we get to carry that devotion for our life, to our spiritual path, to our relationships, and everything that we're creating. Now, another aspect of loyalty is friendliness. Are you being friendly? If you're an introvert like me, maybe we can appear a little aloof sometimes, unapproachable, not very vulnerable, not very open to being friendly. Now, we don't feel that way in our hearts, but it's just the way we come off sometimes. And so maybe if you're an introvert like me, you can start to let go of some of those barriers and start to open your heart up. I'm trying. I know being in England for the past month, being out of my comfort zone, having to socialize a bit more, I started to open up a bit more, and I'm ready to do that. Maybe you are too. Are you willing to become a bit more open and friendly in your world? How about being attentive? That's a part of loyalty, being loyal. We're attentive to our world, to our life, to those things that are most important to us. We are steadfast and true. Those are aspects of loyalty that can really, once we bring them into our consciousness, steadfast and true. What are you willing to be steadfast and true to? Think about it. There's things that maybe you've left on a shelf. Things, ideas, hobbies, things that you might want to start exploring. Maybe it's time to dust them off, get them off the shelf, and start to be more steadfast and true to those things that bring you joy. Also, loyalty, there's a particular protector energy to loyalty. What are you willing to take a stand for? What are you willing to? Maybe it's your dreams and passions. Are you willing to be steadfast and true and have protector energy around those things that are most important to you? Think about that. Protector energy, just saying those two words together kind of make me want to sit up a bit taller and start to think about what in my world, who in my world, do I want to bring that kind of energy of I'm standing with you, I'm standing for you, I'll do what it takes to protect you, to protect your ideas, to protect what's important to you. I'm willing to stand with you. And we get to let people know that. That's awesome. The thought of that, the idea of that, as I've done it in the past, that I've stood with people in my counseling, in my coaching. There's a sense of a bond, a connectedness there, helping someone stay accountable to who they're becoming. It's awesome. Another aspect of loyalty is compassion. We have compassion for those that we're loyal to. We know that being human's not easy, that we're always doing the best we can with what we've got. And so we have compassion for ourselves and for others on this human path. And then loyalty also is fully accepting people just as they are and loving them. Unconditional love. Unconditional love. So loyalty is something that it's probably more true about you than you've really realized until we've had these thoughts, this discussion, that you really are a loyal person. And so I want to share two things. One is I've got an acronym. I always have an acronym. And so I've taken the word loyal and I've broken it down into 5 statements. And so I want to share these with you because I know this is going to support you in moving forward. So L, loyal. Lean into love. I found this quote today written by Nassim Haramein. He's a beautiful astrophysicist, and he wrote this: "We all have an amazing gift to present. The heart space is the source of this genius. To go to the heart center is to go to the stillness that connects us all, and where all information is present. From there, the brain and the intellect can interpret and apply it in a beautiful way. The heart is the fundamental space for our evolution. The heart is the place from which our society will transcend our current difficulties." Now, I'm going to share this because it's such a powerful quote. It's such a powerful teaching. It's a principle. Being heart-centered, having an awareness of the importance of leaning into love, of living in a heart-centered way to help us navigate and transcend the difficulties within our world, within our relationship, is huge. And when we're heart-centered, when we're centered in ourself, in our soul, at the very core of our being, we have greater access to wisdom, to talents and gifts and strengths that are within us, that when we're not heart-centered, when we're just up in our heads or we're in a reactive place of the ego, we're unable to have access to our natural soul gifts. So, first letter of the word loyal is L, and I've chosen the phrase lean into love. Second letter is O, own your future. So I listened to a beautiful podcast, and it was presented by this scientist, this therapist that has studied happiness. And they did a test on people. They hooked them up so they could read their brains and watch brain activity when they are asked to think about themselves, a certain aspect of their brain lit up. Now, when they were asked to think about someone else that they knew, a different region of the brain lit up. So when they thought about themselves, one region of the brain lit up. When they thought about another person, another area of the brain lit up. Now, this is really interesting. When they were asked to think about their future self, let's say at 85 years old or sometime in the future, the part of the brain that lit up was the same part of the brain that lit up when that person was asked to think about someone else. Now, this is huge. This is so good to know right now, right where we are in our lives, whatever age we are, to start to develop a closer relationship with your future self, so that that future self then becomes, when you think of that person, that you in the future, that side of your brain will light up also that identifies with you now. Why is this important? So we start to build consciousness. We start to build a connection with ourselves, not only in this current physical earth suit, this body, but we start to connect with the non-local self, the soulful self, that aspect of our being that is beyond this time and space continuum. That part of us that isn't just this body and this brain, but that is all of us. This part of us that has never been born and will never die. That is omniscience, omnipresence, and omnipotence. Powerful, everywhere present, all wise. And we start to open up our consciousness to this broader sense of ourself, our future self, who we're becoming, our visions and dreams for ourselves. We start to, and this study showed that people that actually started to have a relationship with their future self were more likely to start saving money, to start planning their future, and that gave them a greater sense of loyalty and trust with who they are and who they're becoming. And I can see I'm like coming right to the end of our broadcast, but I want to run through these last two letters. So the third one is Y, L-O-Y, and I've chosen the phrase, you are worth it. You are so worth living a life that you love. To live your dreams, to live on purpose, to express yourself creatively, whether you consider yourself a creative person or not, but to express what's most important to you in your life as only you can. You're worth it, and the rest of us are just waiting to receive the gift of you feeling your self-worth and you being committed to expressing yourself as nobody else can. That's your job. You're you. You get to do you, and you are worth it. Your visions, your dreams, they're all worth it. And we, the rest of us, are just waiting with bated breath to experience the fullness of who you're becoming. So that's why. And then A, I've chosen the phrase, accept your whole self. So the teaching here is to lighten up, to be easy with yourself. Trust yourself as you grow through your pain, as you grow through your traumas and your grief, as you do the hard work, maybe you're in therapy, maybe you're in coaching, maybe you're in counseling, maybe you're taking a course, maybe you're doing something, maybe you have a spiritual practice like prayer, meditation, yoga, maybe you're just developing who you're becoming, and you get to accept all of yourself as you grow. It might be messy, it might be a little disconnected, but it's all coming together. You're worth it, so accept yourself all the different facets and all the different dimensions of who you are and who you're becoming. And when you do that, the good, the not so good, and when you bring that in and just love all of you, you watch. You'll begin to settle into this life that you're creating. You'll have a greater sense of devotion and acceptance and unconditionality and loyalty to who you're becoming, that everyone will feel that around you. You'll begin to like life more and enjoy yourself more and be a beneficial presence as you never have been before. So, accept your whole self. And then the last letter is the letter L, and I've chose the phrase, light the way for others. Really, the teachings of loyalty, of love and service, that's what loyalty is. And so as you start to live your best life, as you start to accept yourself, to know that your dreams are worth expressing, that you lean into love, you start to own yourself and own your future, you start to naturally live a life of service where you're lighting the way for others. So that's my message today. I hope you've enjoyed this. If you'd like to support this ministry, you can go to Venmo, Satya Center, and more importantly, go to our website if you want to stay connected. We've got practitioners that are just here for you. They're prayer partners, they're spiritual counselors that can help you remember the truth when you've forgotten. There's a part of you that a practitioner can help you connect with. That part of you is your soul, and we start to help you to connect with your soul, to who you're becoming, to your visions, your dream, your life. Everything changes. We're there for you. We're here for you. Know that. Trust that. We're loyal and we're devoted to your spiritual path as we are to our own spiritual development. And so find us and trust and know that you've got a partner here, Ali Benjamin, a partner in believing that you are completely a wonderful, one-of-a-kind child of the universe that is lovable, love in its purest essence, and you are a loving way that God shows up as the universe shows up. And I see that, I bow to that, and I celebrate you. Peace and blessings to you. Namaste. May your life this week be one of complete joy, love, and happiness. Mwah. Bye-bye. Peace and blessings. I'll see you next week. Oh, I forgot to say, I'm going to be doing my brand new podcast and show called Growing Edge Live with Ali Benjamin tomorrow. Pam Chapman's my guest. Whoop, whoop. Dr. Pam and I are going to be talking about all kinds of things. She doesn't even know what we're going to be talking about. It's that fresh. So tune in to the Satya Center on Facebook or Satya Center on YouTube, and you can find us broadcasting live at 10 a.m. And I'd love to see you. Peace and blessings to you. Mwah. Lots of love. See you, Dr. Pam. Bye, everyone.